Well, the clock has quite literally stopped on Capitol Hill. A budget war now holds 42 million American stomachs hostage, while across the skies, essential air controllers face a pay less Tuesday. As the US shutdown enters day 28, the cost is counted in hunger and safety. Here's the report.
America is bracing for impact. 42 million people are hours away from losing crucial food assistance as the SNAP program, the lifeline for struggling families, suspends benefits.
This is significant news for about 42 million Americans, about 1 in 8 people in the U.S. They rely on the program to buy groceries. The announcement has left food pantries and food banks scrambling, as well as individuals, several of whom have told the Associated Press that if they don't have the aid, they're going to have to choose between groceries and other bills.
Across the nation, food banks warn of a tidal wave of new faces lining up in desperation. The Department of Agriculture admits it's helpless. Neighborhoods face empty shelves and empty stomachs. America's most vulnerable, children, the elderly, working families on the absolute edge.
It's finding ways to make ends meet. Grateful for any sort of assistance programs. We're on WIC for my daughter, who's 13 months old, to get her formula and food. I'm showing up to food banks when I can. We're applying to jobs constantly. Our unemployment just ran out, so now we have no income coming in. It's a challenge.
So it's a lot of uncertainty that comes along with this. I'm grateful for these opportunities to receive assistance, but there is a lot of uncertainty that comes along with it, and it causes a lot of stress as well. All I can do is just continue to pray and hope that something is done to resolve the issue with the federal government shutdown.
The chaos.
All right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah, Quadash, double honors to apostles of GMS, and a sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And so, with this U.S. Government shutdown, it has hit 42 million Americans, and now it's starting to look more and more like a third world country. Like, a lot of people was laughing at all these other countries for not having what this place has. But now all that stuff is starting to be taken. And we've been talking about that for years. So now you have a destitute of people that needs help. And this is a lot of people that's been on those benefits. I never knew it was that probably that high. Who knows? The numbers might be exaggerated, or it could be under exaggerated. But that's still a lot of people that's been on that stuff. So with a lack of support, you now have a lack of money, because it costs money to feed mouths, especially if the children can't work yet. So this is going to lead to a whole other scale of problems. This is just the beginning of it. And who knows? We believe it's possible that they could bounce this back, and then give it some years, give it some time later, it could get even worse to the point it may not ever come back. So all this is probably either trial run, or it could probably be gone for good. But the problem still lies that these people are basically screwed with the lack of being able to have money. This also has a lack of with people with jobs. Actually, I think this is mentioned in this, so I'm gonna play it a little bit more before I get my scripture.
Chaos isn't just on the ground, it's now in the skies. Nearly 7,000 flights delayed or canceled across the U.S. On Tuesday, as air traffic controllers missed their first paycheck since the shutdown began. Many controllers are calling in sick, and airlines warn that the system is running on fumes.
That's the part right there. So now you have airlines backed up. People ain't getting paid for anything. Businesses are closing down. I wouldn't be surprised if some airports even closing down behind it. So this is Haggai 1:6. It says, "Ye have sown much, and bring in little." Meaning you working all you can to sow in money that you can, but it's so little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you are not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. And that's what's happening. You work you you work 80 hours, some probably even more in the month. Uh, then it has to go to bills, food, mortgage, uh, probably some other list of things, and then you got your own uh things that you might want to buy for yourself. And now a lot of that's going down the drain because it's not enough. Because the cost of living ain't what it used to be. The value of the dollars went down, which caused everything else to go up. The problem is the jobs ain't compensating employees for the amount to keep up with that cost of living. So that was the difference right there. This is why I say as time goes on, things get worse and worse. I'm not just talking about with generations. That's included, but this is with the way of living. To the point we started seeing way more homeless people from, at least as far as I started seeing way more homeless people from the time of 2015, 2016 on up to now. And it's just been nothing but an increase. To the point that I'm seeing homeless people begging right up the street from where I live. So this is the one of the results of what's going to happen. The next result, especially when people get pissed enough, especially when they can't eat or when they're really really hungry, it's going to start leading to riots. Like I said, this could bounce back as a temporary thing. Could not, but if it does, I definitely believe that the next time this happens, there's no coming back. This is taking longer. This government shutdown has taken longer, I think, longer than any other time. Possibly, I could be wrong. I don't remember the time frames for the other ones. The last one I knew was about maybe a couple of days, maybe I think a week, possibly for a deadline. So it doesn't help that they're talking about reimbursing employees or people that work, or everybody for that matter, that had to get cut off, because then people think they could be relying on the shit again, and it won't happen. So this is Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And that's what he's always done. He'll give out the pretty speech that, yeah, we're gonna do this and that, and only do 20% of it, then start raining hell, and then people get mad about it. Then he's got to throw out another pretty speech saying, we'll do this as compensation. And it shuts the people up because they'll end up getting it, just for them to go back and still do the same thing back to square one. Just for these, just for the I want to say the rats, because these people, the people under these rats, to keep, stabbing these people in the back every time, because that's what's happening. If you notice, like every year, even with every new president, they always stabbing people in the back to the point they always pissed off. And as far as I've been born, I haven't heard too many nice things about the presidents as it is. I'm talking about. It's just hilarious just thinking about it. I hear more bad things about presidents than I do good things, but y'all want to talk about voting to think it's going to make a difference of which one gets into office. You have prime examples. You already had Trump in office before, then he went to Biden, now back to Trump. So what was much of the difference? You talking about vote for the lesser evil. Both sides got in. So which one's worse? Whoever gets in after this still going to be worse. It's just a matter of time before this place comes on a steady decline. And that's what we look forward to, right? So, this is Hosea 4:1. This will be the last scripture. It says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land." Especially in this one, because this is the land of wickedness. Of course, the Lord set up Esau to build this place, but as it says, even it equates to today, there's no truth except for the ones that he sends the prophets out to. But let's even exclude us for a second. It says there's no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh in this land. If the Lord didn't send us out there, and you already see what goes on the day-to-day basis. You have all these different religions here, and nobody can give an answer of what to do, especially with the problems in this place. It says no mercy. If the government is not giving these people no mercy, especially if our own people ain't giving each other any mercy, where are you going to expect the mercy from? It says, nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land. What are you going to do? Rely on Christianity? Christianity ain't teaching you what to do, what the prophecies that's supposed to happen, or what to do. People, I mean, all the stuff is there in the book. Like, far as even reading the first 5 books, they'll tell you how to conduct yourself, but people won't read that. No, people love the adultery, the wickedness, and all this other stuff. This is what all this led to. You have, I mean, I could go into a whole list, but I won't. But this is why the Lord sent us out here to wake up his hopeful elect, because those are the ones who's going to understand the truth, the mercy, and the knowledge of Yahweh. Whereas the rest of these people won't. These people are going to be left in the dust. That's why they're so panicking about what to do, how to do, how we're going to get food and all this other stuff. I mean, we ain't worried about it because we understand that the Lord said his servants shall eat. And the Lord wouldn't I'm the hopeful elect and various other brothers that we be the servants. Because these people, they run off of carnality. We run off the spiritual fact. So we understand and we believe a lot of this stuff is meant to happen, as the scripture says so. But these people can't grasp that. I'm going to continue. It says, by swearing and lying and killing, stealing, and committing adultery, these are the things I was just bringing up, they break out, blood touches blood, which means the people killing each other, especially when these riots kick in. It says, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. With the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. So that'll be your jobs, your I have pretty much a lot of jobs, even all your jobs really, especially when import and export, where they do overseas trading, and then the trading with bringing in food with the trucks. So a lot of that stuff is going to come to a halt, and these people won't know what to do from there. So as this is happening, again, we still got some prophecies to kick in. So even if this bounce back, we just seeing trial run, just like the whole C virus that happened. That was just a trial run, especially for when shit really hits the fan, especially when the MTOB comes out, because that's the biggest game thing. So, with that, this was a little edifying. With that, shalom.